Welcome to part 2 in the Unpredictable webinar series. So in part 1, the original webinar, I talked about how to predict your horse's behaviour, whether it's for good or for bad. And the question that you want to ask is, who is giving way to whom on the ground? Or who is vacating space for whom? So between you and your horse, if somebody pushes, who is giving way? And I suggested that you go video yourself to get a really clear idea of what's happening there and watch your feet versus your horse's feet and who's actually giving way to whom. Because very often what I see a lot of is the horse is pushing on the human in really subtle ways, moving into their space, and the human is moving out of the horse's way and they don't even realize that they're doing it. And so just by watching that interaction, I can already tell that if push comes to shove, or if there is more energy added to that, or stress or motivation, such as feed, or such as the horse is frightened by something, or they want to get back to their herd mates, then that little push is going to turn into a much more dangerous situation. And that's why people think these things happen out of the blue, but it's not out of the blue at all. It's just a bigger version of what's already happening. So I told you in that webinar that I would give you an exercise to flip that dynamic around and start to instill in your horse the idea that they give way to you and they vacate space for you no matter what. So in this video, I'll be teaching you that exercise, and I've just filmed it. I've actually just filmed myself coaching 2 different people. The first one I've never worked with before, so what you're seeing is completely from scratch. And this lady has 3 little ponies in the paddock that usually push against her at the gate. So you're seeing the entire process, you're seeing me coach her through the entire thing, and you'll see the outcome of that. Nothing's edited. And then the second one is with a large off-the-track thoroughbred. And with that lady, I've done some lessons with her previously, but quite a while ago, probably 12 months ago. And we did one session on this exercise that I'm showing you. So you'll see that her horse has a bit of an idea of it already, but there's still some issues, and so we coach her through that and take it to the next step. So what you can do with today's video is watch it a couple of times over, really listen to the instructions that I'm giving, because it's important to follow those instructions. And in the video, it's not done perfectly, and you're not going to do it perfectly to start off with, and that's fine. But watch it over, go give it a go, watch it over again. And even if you want to film yourself and watch yourself back so that you can see what you're doing and refine from there. And I'm sure that you can make it work for you. A couple of things I wanted to mention. You will need a tool of some sort to create energy, create pressure for your horse to move off. I use a retractable flag, and I buy mine through Kaz's Flags and Tail Bags. You can look her up on Facebook. Kaz is spelled K-A-Z. So it's Kaz's Flags and Tail Bags. She does really good quality equipment. It's a question I get asked often, where do you get your flags from? So there you have it. If you don't have a flag, you can use just use like an old fishing pole with a rag tied to the end, or a plastic bag even. You can use a lunge whip if you want. Just something that can back up your cues. Because what we're going to be doing is asking the horse to move off. So I use an initial cue, which is a point. So point is like 1 Mississippi, and then I'll cluck. So there's a sound added to it. So it's point. And then 3 Mississippi would be the flag comes in, or your tool comes in to back up and reinforce what you've already asked. And it's really important to follow that process over every time you ask your horse to move again. So you might do it 20 times when you go to practice this exercise. You might repeat that process 20 times over. Start with your cue first, a cluck, and then the flag is what backs you up. And eventually you won't need to use the flag. You can just lift your finger and ask them to move, and they will. So make sure you have a tool to back you up, because if you don't, it's just you and your body. Like, you can't go bite the horse, you can't kick out with your feet, with your hooves. So you need something to make that horse move, and they need to be sure that you're going to make them move. Okay. Another couple of important points, pardon me, is do this exercise across the fence of a large paddock or a large yard. So don't do it in a little stable or a little stall where your horse is kind of hemmed in, because you're going to be putting a reasonable amount of pressure on your horse. They might not understand what it's about to begin with. And you, if you haven't done this before, you're probably going to be a bit khaki-handed with your flag or your tool. So don't do it in a small space where it's going to cause confusion and potentially cause your horse to become more aggressive towards you, because they're trying to figure it out and there's all this pressure and they've got nowhere to go. So do it in a paddock, across the fence of the paddock, or a large yard to begin with. And then when you both understand what you're doing, by all means, you can do it. You can ask your horse to stand at the back of the stable when you come in, but not in the beginning. And the second thing I wanted to mention is that this exercise is going to cause your horse to pay more attention to you. Okay? That also means, not just in the paddock, okay? That also means they're going to be paying more attention to you when you do your groundwork and when you get on and ride them. So that means, generally speaking, they're going to pay more attention to your cues, and especially when you ask them to move for you. So if your horse is one that typically when you ride them, they're really dull and sluggish, and you have to, kick them along a bit if that's where you're at with your riding, don't be at all surprised, or I should say expect, that after you do this exercise, your horse is going to be more responsive to your legs. They're going to be checked into you more. They're going to understand that when you say move, it means move. So don't get on your horse and just like give them a big bootful. Not that I do that anyway. Like, I don't recommend that anyway, but just be aware that your horse is going to be more checked in to you, and just use your cues a little more subtly, because you might get more than what you thought you were asking for. And it's not a bad thing. It just means that they're more checked into you. Okay. And also, they might be more responsive in general to things that, like, to your body language now, and to things that you're holding on to. So if you're, I don't know, for example, you take your jacket off and you're flapping the hay out of it, your horse might be like, okay, does this mean I need to move? This looks similar to the flag. Does this mean anything? Do I need to move? So just be aware of those things. And if you know how to desensitize, I would recommend doing a little bit of desensitizing with your tool after you do this exercise. So, pardon me, that might mean just once you go and halter your horse, you might just walk up to them, have them sniff the end of the flag, let them just, sniff on it, and then maybe just rub them on the wither with it. Because we don't want the tool to become a scary thing or something to like run away from. We want it to be, it's just an extension of you. It's just something that comes into play when you've already asked them to do something. So we don't want to be just like waving it willy-nilly and making them run off. There's a cue. This is also why it's really important to do the pre-cue. There's a cue. You've already asked for something, and then the flag comes in to back up what you've already asked. Okay. Now I'll let you watch the videos, and I'll see you afterwards.
I love my ponies. It's good talking down.
So cute. So this is Kath and her ponies. What are your ponies' names?
This little fella here, he's 2. His name's Tommy. Old Joker here, he's about 10 now. And they're both mini Shetlands.
Yeah.
Mini Shetland ponies. Yeah.
And Gracie.
Oh, Gracie up the back. She's a mini pony. She's about 14. Awesome. And they all have a place. They all have a place in riding for the grandkids and pulling the carts for us grown-ups.
Awesome. And so what we're going to go through today is just how we get them to back off of the gate when you approach the gate, whether you've got feed or not, and get them to give you space so that they're not trying to come out the gate trying to snatch your feed and everything. So what normally happens, like when you're coming here, say you've got a bucket of feed, what would they normally do and who would normally be pushing the most?
These 2 in particular, if I walk in there with a little bucket of food, because I tip the food into those 2 blue containers, as I walk through the gate, they're pushing me to put the head in the bucket. And it's like, I'm trying to turn around, try and get my back to them, try and walk backwards, and then they split up. One walks around that way and the other one walks around that way and they barrel me up. So I got to get out of there really fast. They're just frustrating having grandkids, and they go in there even with a halter or they got a carrot in their pocket, and the horses know a carrot and they nearly get pushed over. But they're learning to sort of make them have space, but it's just a matter of a little waddy, that little purple.
Yep.
Sort of swing it around for space.
Yep.
But yeah, they can be pushy even with me. These 2.
Yep. Cool. All right. So what we'll do to start with, we're going to do the process without feed first.
Yep.
Just so they start to get an understanding before we add the feed, because wherever we've got feed or wherever the ponies are going to be excited or anxious, they're going to push even more.
Yeah.
So we want to set them up first to understand what we're asking, and then we'll bring the feed in later.
Yeah.
So do you want to use your waddy, or do you actually, I might get you to use, are you happy to use a flag?
Yes. Yep.
That might just give you a little bit more, because it's more visual.
Yeah, and I've
Because-
got that little orange one off someone's work you.
Oh, okay, well you can use that if you want.
It doesn't matter. Yours looks good.
Cool. Because what we're going to do to start with is we'll just stay on this side of the gate.
Yep.
So we need to have a tool that's going to create enough energy for them to move away and give a decent amount of space. So if you want to just come, like we'll basically start over. If you want to come over to the side here, and actually I'll just demonstrate out here. What you're going to do as you approach is you're actually going to, if you come over here to where the camera is, as you approach, we're actually going to give the ponies an indication to leave. So is there a cue that you use when you're lunging them, for example, or when you're sending them off or asking them to speed up?
Yeah, I just use my hand.
Yeah.
And just sort of get them out of my space, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then normally there's a whip on the other side and a hand and a lead,
Yeah.
or the lead on one side and a hand on the other side. Is the only way that I create that space.
Cool. So that's what you do that then, because
Yeah.
they know that process and you know that process. So what I want you to do is do your cue, and I usually add it as well. If you do that, go ahead. You normally do that.
I use words.
Or words, yeah.
It mightn't be good to use words though.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you.
Okay.
So use whatever your normal cue is,
Yeah.
and then if they're not responding or they're not responding fast enough, that's when we're going to bring the flag in
Okay.
as you back up.
Yeah.
So it's like you might do your point and then use your word. So kind of like one Mississippi, word Mississippi, flag Mississippi.
Right.
So they have time to understand
Yeah.
what you're asking, and then you're going to back it up with, like, you're going to move now with your flag.
Yeah.
So over time, or after you do it a couple of times, they'll start to go off of your cue
Yeah.
because they'll anticipate, okay, this is going to come
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
So we're going to be slow and steady, but firm.
Yeah.
And the goal is to get them to give you, for these ponies, I would say 5 meters space. For other horses, I normally say about 2 horse lengths. That's about 5 meters anyway.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
5 meters.
Okay. We'll
Be
see how we
lucky to
go.
do 1 meter, but we'll try
We'll
5.
see how we go.
Right.
All right. And I'll step in and help you if you need it.
Yeah.
So if you want to just start over back here,
Yep.
you can even start indicating when you get within 5 meters. So we're about there now.
Yeah.
I might just jump on this camera and make sure that we've got everything in frame. Let me just go like...
And walk towards them to create that space, or just stand in one place and just use my hand action?
Well, you can start back here.
Yeah.
And you can give them the indication from back here, because they can see you here.
Yeah.
You can communicate with them from back here. And do it like you mean it from back here.
Yeah.
They're going to ignore you in the start,
Oh, yeah, look
but then they'll start to get the idea. So when you're ready, just start your process.
Okay.
So from back here, Kathy, just come back again.
Sorry, no.
From back here, do your point first.
Okay.
And you can start flapping your flag from back here as
Okay.
well.
Back up.
Okay, make your flag really big and send them away.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Cool, and release. Okay, excellent.
That worked.
Yeah,
See the big difference.
and we'll go and start over again, Kat.
Okay.
So when you get a response that's along the lines of what you want, we're just going to release and reset.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we don't want to like keep going, and then start to desensitize
Yeah,
them to the
yeah.
flags.
Yeah. They're not scared of the flag.
No, but they are respecting it, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
great. So now that, is it Tommy?
Tommy?
So Tommy he's staying well back.
Yeah.
So this time you might focus on getting Joker away.
Being the dominant one. Yes.
Yeah. So start with your pointing again. Start with your first cue first.
Back. Back up.
Okay, now you can
Back.
come in with your flag.
Back up. Come on. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Bit more, bit more, bit more. Keep the flag going, keep the flag going. Now release. Yep. Excellent.
That is good. Very well trained ponies, aren't they?
They'll learn quickly. That's good.
Gracie's not here either, so it makes a difference.
Yeah. So this time, because this is great, they're both at 5 meters.
Yes.
This time, if you can go into the paddock, and same thing, we're not going to let them come up and crowd you. They need to keep that 5 meter buffer.
Yep.
Obviously, if you want to invite them in at some point, you can invite them in, but just not right now in this lesson for this purpose.
Yeah.
Some people get worried that if they're sending their ponies away or their horses away, that they're not going to want to come to them. But don't worry about that.
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. All right. And so if they approach you, you just start the same process again. You start with the point.
Back up. Back up.
So keep your flag going until he leaves. Keep it going. No pauses. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Back up. Come on. Back.
Good. Can I just show you for a second how I use the flag?
Okay.
Just to help you get the right message to them. So when we come in with the flag, when we start using the flag, we want to start and continue getting bigger until we get the answer that we want.
Yep.
So I'll just go in there and show you what I mean. Actually, I can do it from right here.
Yep. Sure.
Because if we do a little bit and then pause,
Yeah.
that's like
That's release.
green tick for them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask Joker to leave. So back up. I'm going to come in here, back up. I'm going to keep going until he's actually left.
Yep.
And then, actually, I don't want to corner him in there. I might just send him out of there. Walk on. And so then I would come in here. So, there, that's
what
the
you
reaction we want.
That's what you want.
You want them to leave with energy, accelerate.
Yeah. Okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Sometimes in the beginning they'll be a bit sticky.
Yeah.
But that's the response we're looking for.
Right. That's clear. Have you got Tommy listening? The Joker's the dominant one when she's not around up here. But he does get very pushy, so yeah, I need to take that time before I come to the gate rather than walk straight from there to the gate and expect them to yeah, and that's what I do. Just walk straight.
Yeah.
The kids do too, they're just about jumping over the gate, but
Yeah.
I will get them to do some of that to teach them some manners and keeps the space for them when they walk through the gate.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, the kids can learn this too really easily.
Yes, yeah, they love learning things like that with flags.
And if you're consistent with that every time, it's like 5 meter space before I come in, 5 meter space before the food comes.
Yes.
They'll really start to just hang back and give you
Perfect.
space.
That's great.
So
Do you want me to get that bucket of tea?
yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
That's nice. Look where I've stopped my bit.
That is really good. It's not going to fit. Stay.
So just start from over here again, Kath. Well, that's not bad.
He knows already.
All right. So if you want to grab that the flag again, sorry, just here. So exact same process, start over, make sure you point first. So whichever subtle cue you want them to move off of eventually, start with that every time.
And then no response?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Back up. Back up. Back up, Tommy. Back up. Back up.
Good.
Go on. Yep. Yep.
Good. And release. Let your flag down. Good.
Back up. Come on.
And release. Yep. So as soon as they leave, you release. Even if they're going to come back. So now, yep. Yeah, that was fine. That was good.
Stand.
That's looking good. Nice. Now, the video didn't catch it, but what happened there was Kath just stepped forward slightly, and these guys both went whoop and backed up slightly, which is great.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Cool.
Harley thinks he wants to help. Back up. Back up. Back up. Stand. Stand. Jogger. Back up. Back up.
Okay, so you're going to have to follow through with that flag now because you've asked him to back up.
Back up.
So go now. Good, good.
Harley, sorry about
That's fine. No, this is good. Chaos is good.
that.
This is real life.
He's used to getting in there and making him back up.
All right.
Joker. Ah.
So this is fine, Kathy. Let them make the mistake
Yes.
and then just fix it when they make the mistake. Like don't worry. You don't have to block them. You don't have to keep them out there.
Yeah, okay.
Let them make the mistake and then send them when they do. So this is all okay.
Yep.
Gracie's scratching her belly over there.
Got an itchy belly button.
So this is good.
Boys. Very good boys. No, Tommy. Ah. Good boy, Joker.
So you're going to put that feed in those buckets, is that right?
Yes.
I'm just going to come around the gate here so that I can catch.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Harley, enough. No.
So as you walk through into their yard, you're just going to ask them to keep that 5 metre clearance.
Yeah.
I'll get
Back up. Back up. Come on. Back up. Back
See?
up.
sneaking up
Back
behind you.
up. Back up. Back up. Harley. Standing.
So what I want you to do, Kath, once you send him, drop your flag. So it's like an on-off switch.
Yes.
You send, the pressure's on. He responds, you drop the flag,
That's
pressure's
right
off.
away.
Yeah, don't hold it up because when you're holding it up like that, it's like you're putting your hand up and saying, don't come any closer, don't come any closer. But what you want to do is send him away, give him the release, and then it's his responsibility to stay out there just by knowing that you've sent him out there. And when he makes the mistake again, you can send him. So like you can send them both now, Gracie as well, because she's
Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
she doesn't really know what's going on here. Cool. And now what we're looking for is we're waiting for all of them to just stand back and wait out there.
Good.
Remember to start with your point first.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Away. Away.
And then you can follow through with your flag.
Bad. We've got the
Okay, so no, that's okay. That's okay.
back.
They should be able to tell by your body language that you're not giving them the bucket.
Yeah. Back up. Back. Back up, Joker.
You can even whoops, the dog's got off. Hang on, doggy. Yeah. So I was just going to say, you can even put the bucket down beside the other one, and now you've got 2 free hands. Excellent. It's good. Okay, follow through with your flag now. He's not responding to your hands. This looks good. Good, good. And so once you've put your feed in and they're not trying to push on you at all, just walk away and come out the gate. Okay, send him. Good. Excellent, excellent. Perfect timing to leave. So when you leave like that, it's like now it's their feed. But until you leave, it's your feed.
Yes. So they've got their space now.
Yeah. So they don't get to push on you while ever you're there with the feed.
Perfect.
But once you leave and you're more than 5 meters away from that feed, it's their feed.
That made it a lot easier. It made it definitely a lot easier. That even
Cool.
created the space when there's like 4 of us in there, 3 kids.
Yeah.
And that teaches them a little bit of respect.
It does. And you'll find, if you're consistent with that, it should help them in other areas as well. Like when you're leading them somewhere, if they want to pull or push.
Will definitely make a huge difference. Because they, little as they are, they push hard.
Mm.
Thank you very much.
It's okay.
That was very knowledgeable. It's one thing to do training with big horses, but I've had no training with little ones.
Mm.
No, it's great.
Mm-hmm. And it's really easy to overlook the little ones and think, oh, that, you know, they're so little, they can't hurt you.
And it's
whatever.
Like, it's like what people say about little ponies. They bite, they kick, they push. They can't be trained. But that proves,
that's not true.
that proves
They're just horses. They're just little horses.
It's just a smaller version.
Yep, 100%.
I'm very impressed. They're all
Cool.
even. Those buckets aren't even normally that close together.
Mm.
They're separated, one over there, one there, and they're actually all eating.
Sharing. Yeah, and that's something I notice with this work too, is that because they recognize you as like the leader of the herd, because you're doing this stuff, they're not so angry with each other. Like they're more so looking at you rather than trying to fight each other.
Yeah, so there's no.
It just settles things down a bit.
That's why I said that little mare. She normally comes up here, and she'll be the one to stand quietly, and the other 2 will back off.
Okay.
A lot of the time she's still down the bottom of the paddock when I walk down here, so the 2 geldings come up here and they're pushing and shoving, and who's going to get through the gate, who's going to get to the bucket first. And that was really good. That was a perfect example of how most times it can be, unless I'm late, then they're all there at the gate. Different story. Nicole, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for that.
That's okay.
Really
Good job.
good job.
Excellent.
I learned a lot out of that.
Cool.
And
You can
Harley,
practice. You can do the same with your other ponies.
Definitely, I will be. Melody stands at the gate, but she backs off as soon as
That's
I
good.
walk in. But
Yeah.
these guys, and you, I know you wanted to help, but don't back.
It was actually really good that, you know, all this stuff is going on, because that's how it is.
That's background. That is exactly right. And,
Often that's how
what
it is.
He comes everywhere with me, and he knows, like, he sometimes comes in the paddock and does push them back.
Yep.
But since Janet said we can't have dogs in the horse paddock, I understood that. So he stays over there, and of course he's frustrated. He just wants to get in and give me a hand. So look at that. They're both, those 2 geldings, never eat out of the same bucket.
Wow.
That's unreal. That's nice.
I'm so glad.
That's nice. That's really nice. Have these sort of thoughts of, it's all right, I can handle them, they're little, but it's just nice when you sort of have the grandkids you worry, and then that's so good. Really happy.
Right. So, this is Lisa and Thor. So, can you just quickly tell us a little bit about Thor? He's an off-the-track thoroughbred.
Yeah, 9-year-old off-the-track thoroughbred, retired at 6 or 7, he's 9 now. So he's had a couple of years out in the paddock before I started riding him. So we've been in action about 12 months as a team together now, and that's been, lots of ups and downs. Very exciting at times.
And so, as far as the personal space handling and stuff, we've done some lessons together already.
Yep.
And Lisa's got him at a really good point where he will he gives her space at the gate.
Yep.
But just tell us what happens then after that when you're taking the feed.
Yeah,
inside.
so he'll see me coming with the feed and he's like, oh, dinner time, and he'll dash out and he'll go and wait over there automatically. But then when the time I get out there with the feed, he's there in my face, ready to shove his face in the bucket. I'm not sensing any aggression, but he's still quite pushy.
Yeah.
And expects it there. And then,
Yeah. Okay.
I've got some feed over there too.
Okay. Yeah. So what we'll do is, if you can go ahead and grab your feed. Are you ready to let him go?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
so we might let him go, and we'll just go through your normal process, and then I can help you out once you get over there.
I'm gonna go now, so we get the.
And do you still have your flag?
I do.
That?
Yeah.
Because you're going to need that.
Let me see if I can find that. I should have got that. I had to rearrange, so.
Yep, you're right. No rush. And so we're going to ask him to give you 2 horse lengths space.
Alright.
In the usual sort of leading and groundwork and stuff, I usually just go 1 horse length, but with feed I want to go 2 horse lengths.
Yeah.
So even from here, yeah, this is fine, this is good. So even before we go through the gate, we're going to ask him to give us that, which he's doing right now.
So he's pretty good in that now.
But just have your flag ready, so as soon as he breaches that distance,
Yeah. Go back.
point or send him off to the queue first, and then use your flag.
I'll go straight over here where you can see it. He's going to be perfect now. Back. 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 Good job. So I'm going to put it down now.
Just a sec. So at the moment he's like 1 horse length away. You might have to get big enough and actually send him off as if you were lunging, or like yeah. So just send him off, Lisa, down the paddock. Send him with your point first, so you give him direction. There you go. And now send him away from the feet. Keep sending him. Yep. Excellent. And relax and come back to the feed. And just send him again when he gets too close. Send him again. He's about a 1.5 away. That's it. Keep going. Keep going. Good. And relax. All right. That's good. So we'll just hang there for a second. So this is nice. Like, he's deciding to stay there. So this is perfect place to end it while he's not moving forward. So we're just going to turn around and walk out the gate. And now it's his feed. So even as you're leaving, he's still giving you that space.
Yes, yeah. Good boy.
And that's really key, that you leave while he's still just standing there, not creeping forward.
Okay.
If he starts to creep and you leave then,
Charge him back again,
yeah, he's going to learn that creeping forward is the answer to get the feed. But that was perfect. That was
It's
really
a big
good.
improvement to what he was, isn't it? Yeah, when we first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just like,
Barging.
he was quite bargy. That's great. And I think you even had like 3 or 4 horse lengths there.
Yeah. Yeah. Good boy.
Excellent. So next time, like even as you're approaching the gate, ask him to give you
Yeah.
2 horse lengths.
Yeah.
As you're approaching the gate, you don't have to wait till you get right to the gate.
Yeah.
You can start asking from like the other side of the aisle,
Yeah. Okay.
because he's still reading your communication from back there.
Yeah. And yeah.
So you're like setting the standard in the beginning that that's going to be the distance as I come into the paddock.
Yeah, I like that. My husband would like that too, because he's not a horse person and he gets a bit like, am I all right here?
Yeah. Definitely, teach him everything.
Yeah.
Give him a flag.
Yeah.
And while he's in the paddock, all he has to do is flap the flag to get him to give you space. That's good.
But yeah, no, the improvement it's been huge, yeah.
And what I really like this time too is he didn't kick out at all when he was leaving.
Yeah, he's quite, well, we know each other quite well now. And that's also on the lunge as well. Like, we're lunging so much better now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's just, 100% better.
That's awesome. Because I remember in the beginning when we were sending him and saying, no, you really need to give us space, he was not happy about it, and he was kicking out sometimes. Yeah, he was like, no, I'm going to send you.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. He's much more accepting.
Yeah, he seems to have lost a lot of that aggression or frustration that he had. Yeah.
So now that you've seen a couple of examples of how to apply this exercise, go and give it a try. Make sure you have your tool with you. Remember that 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi with your cues. And give it a go. Let me know if you have any problems. I think it'll work just fine for you, but if not, let me know. And this exercise is just one of what we cover inside the Partnership Reboot program. So this program is going to be coming in the next couple of months in an online version where you'll have these exercises demonstrated by myself. So I'll give you a more detailed breakdown. I'll show you what it should look like. There'll also be other clients demonstrating it as they go through and as they're learning it. So you'll have more examples of other people learning the exercises and seeing like common problems that come up, common mistakes, little things that need to be refined that you're going to come across as well. I'll also in that program be giving you breakdowns of some key skills, such as how to use your flag effectively, how to use your body language more effectively, so that you are clear to your horse. There's a lot of little supplementary skills that help to get this stuff right and to get it really working really nicely for you and your horse. So that's a bit of a rundown on of how it will go in the Partnership Reboot online program. There'll also be opportunities to actually there'll be like a weekly Zoom call where you can get feedback on what you're doing, ask me any questions that you need to. There's a few more modules as well within that program, and it's really going to set you up for excellent manners on the ground, excellent communication between you and your horse. And this is the foundation for your partnership in the saddle. So most people really want to get their partnership going really well in the saddle, but they don't understand that they need to have it going well on the ground first for it to really make sense to your horse. Because the person that you are on the ground is the person that you are in the saddle, or that's the person that they're expecting in the saddle. But people tend to think of ground stuff as just like doing stuff, and then saddle work as actual training. It's all training. Okay. So the program is available now on pre-sale. It won't be going live until where are we? May sometime. But the pre-sale is a really good deal. It's $450. Let me see where the list is. Yeah. So you get 3 months coaching with me, basically. So you'll get the entire set of modules to go and practice and get your partnership going really well with your horse on the ground. You get 3 months of support from me online. Those are like weekly Zoom calls with everyone who's in the program, and you can submit video to get feedback and things to tweak, or 6 months for $750. So that's 3 months $450, or 6 months is $750. And that will be going up significantly once all the modules are recorded and in the program. And yeah, there's more examples coming through of different kinds of horses as well, doing the exercises. So that's what you need to know about that. But go ahead and give this exercise a go. You're going to get some excellent wins here, and keep in touch. There is another part for this series coming on the 23rd. Let me just double check. 23rd of April. It's a Wednesday again at 7:30 p.m. We'll be doing part 3 and the final part of this series. And I will be breaking down for you some videos of horses' behaviour leading up to the unpredictable stuff. So you're actually going to see what expressions those horses are showing, what things I'm seeing from those horses that leads to the dangerous behaviours. And you're more than welcome to submit video or point me in the direction of videos online if there's anything that you want to look at, if you want me to break it down on camera. But that is going to be part 3 on the 23rd of April at 7:30 p.m. That's going to be really interesting, I think. And yeah, I think I'll leave you with that for now, but go give this exercise a go and let me know if you have any questions.